All right, welcome back to another edition of the Singletrack Session, part of the TrailManners podcast. This is Singletrack Session number 135. I am your host, Aric Manning, and I like pants that are cut into shorts. So let's get started right away here. Hope everybody had a very happy Easter and a nice weekend, and I really do hope your weather was as grand as mine. But before we get into that, why don't I introduce you to this year's Beer of the Week. This Beer of the Week comes from Utah here. It is Shades of Pale, and the beer is Misconception IPA, or IPA, as no one says. Not a little disappointed, to be honest with you. It's 8%. On the side of it, it's got a hop scale, and it shows 4 hops. So I thought, man, if that's a 4 out of 5, that's right up my alley. But I think it's more of a 4 out of something larger than 5. Because it wasn't as hoppy as I thought it would be. It's definitely a mellow IPA, lighter in color. It drinks well. It's a good beer, but I definitely have some on the list that I would prefer. Shades of Pale does make some grand brewskis. This one isn't one of my favorites, but is it drinkable? Well, yes. Yes, it is. A little bit more drinkable than, say, other beers. But, yeah, Shades of Pale, Brewing, Misconception IPA, and it is 4 out of 5 stars on the hop scale. And just, it's a hanging out, drinking beer, maybe around a little fire with your buddies or friends on a deck or a concrete pad or in a car that's not moving. I don't know. It's a good beer. But not one of my favorites. So next week, boy, I really got to get to the store. I am running low on different beers, and that is my goal, to hit a different beer every week for the rest of the year. That's going to be fun, and I'm excited. It's exploratory stuff. So anyway, as I mentioned, I hope everybody had a great Easter. I was down, as you know, if you've listened to the podcast, in southern Utah in the Zions National Park area, Springdale, staying in Zions officially. Went down there to run with what ended up being a larger group than I anticipated, and just some high-quality people. Went down there, did some camping. I was not able to run as much as everybody else, but we'll get to that in just a second. But we did camp, had a great group, friends from Washington, Anacortes, Bellingham, Jeff, and Allie. Some new friends that I just met, one out of California, one from here, Draper, Utah, and then a lot of the regulars. So had a lot of fun. Even the people I met that weren't runners that we hang out with, and shared beverages, and some of us shared our cheese curds. Not everybody ate them because they squeaked. That's a loss, but a lot of fun. On the way down, stopped at the Creamery in Beaver, Utah, and had my socks blown off by some cheese. Got some buffalo wing cheese, got some smoked Swiss, got some sriracha cheese, and of course, no trip to a creamery / cheese place / anywhere without cheese curds. So I got some cheddar, just standard cheddar cheese curds, and then I've got some salsa curds, and those were phenomenal. Had a lot of fun. Ate a lot of cheese, but I didn't have the side effects of eating a lot of cheese, if you know what I mean. So, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. So we started off down in Zion. We ran on Saturday, and it was actually National Parks Week, so Saturday was free to all of our millions of friends, and it was Easter weekend, and the weather was phenomenal. It was really good. So it was pretty crowded, but when you get back onto some of those trails, it's definitely not as busy. We definitely saw some hikers backpacking around, but we started at Lee's Pass, so the west side, and I ran to the Hop Valley, where I had my rental, and you kind of served as an aid station. And then the rest went from Hop Valley over towards Angel's Landing, the rest of the route, down the grotto, and back to the campsite. So, interesting, though, is I knew I wasn't going to do the whole thing. Just my Achilles been bugging me. Just not in a good place physically with that sucker. But started off and felt pretty good. In fact, between, I'd say, mile 8 and 10, maybe even a little bit further than that, there was a part of me that thought, maybe you should just give this a whirl. We're not going out for any land speed records. The company was awesome, so that helped. A lot of laughs, a lot of fun. The weather was great. Overcast a little bit, which is right up my alley because heat is no bueno. But then we hit coming out towards Hot Valley Trailhead. One of my favorite parts is the Jurassic Park section, and if you've ever been down there, I hope you know what I mean. But as you were coming out of that, there's a pretty decent little climb. It's just a grinder. It's nothing serious or anything else, but that's what makes my Achilles act up. And so that was kind of bugging me, and I'm like, yeah, you're probably smart to, hang it up at 13/14 miles, somewhere in there. And then after you get up the climb, then you get some gnarly little sand, and that was it. Man, my Achilles and my ankle had it. Swelled up pretty good, so obviously there's something going on, but that's the way it goes. But really happy with going down there, just getting 13 in, but more than that, just getting away with some just awesome people. Probably the best ab workout I've had in a long time, just because we sat around the fire and giggled, laughter and giggled. So the abs got a little worked, but a lot of good people, a lot of fun. Definitely still, even though I didn't do the whole thing, still one of my favorite little adventure runs down there. It's been a few years since I've done Hot Valley to the grotto. The east side was closed. The road was closed on the east side. That's why it wasn't like the complete traverse. But nevertheless, just awesome time. Got to hang out. Had a good day. After I got done running, I met up with Steve, guy that was with us, good guy, and we went into the brewery, had some beverages, had a burger that was legit, had a jalapeno bacon jam on it, and it is good. But just a lot of fun. But probably one of the memorable parts that I'll take away from it is we were getting ready to cross. People were trying to avoid getting their feet wet, not knowing what laid ahead, which was pretty much your feet are going to get wet. But there was one section, the river was running pretty good, a little bit deeper than like a creek, trying to place to jump over, and we found a rock, so some people jumped over. And a couple speedy dudes come trucking down the hill towards us and said, "Hey, are you Aric Manning?" And of course, everybody knows my answer to that is usually hesitant, but it was listeners and people that follow on Facebook that are always doing posts, Randy Whitelaw and Eric Lewis. So we got a chance to meet them, and that's one of my favorite things about running. And probably when all said and done, when the TrailManners podcast, takes off into the sunset and fades away, I still think that is going to be one of my most memorable things, is meeting the listeners that I don't know, and also meeting, through social media, those that don't listen to the podcast that might think TrailManners is just a Facebook page, but whatever. That's still going to be one of my favorite things, because I look back at a lot of the people that I've met through the podcast, whether, some unfortunately I haven't met in person yet, but that's absolutely my favorite thing. And of course I recognized Randy and Eric's name just from Woody Footy posts and stuff, so that was really cool. And the dudes are legit, man. They were speedy little buggers. They left us in the dust, got some good mileage in, but it was so cool to meet them. Got a picture of them both. So anyway, that's one of my favorite things. These are a few of my favorite things. Cheese curds, new people, running, those type of things. So anyway, if Aric and Randy, if you're listening, thank you for saying hello, and just appreciate it. Thank you very much. So moving on from that, it was a good weekend, sleeping in a tent. Apparently I'm getting older, even with a couple backpacking air pads, getting a little bit older. And sleeping on the ground is not as comfortable as it used to be. So I'm kind of nursing. I went to my massage guy today, and I'm kind of nursing something pinched in my back. So my right leg, super tingly, and my foot is really tingly, and that really annoys the crap out of me. So I'm trying to work that out. But I got some good massage in. Hopefully it'll be gone a day or two, tops. But yeah, that's just no fun. So as I mentioned, though, I had some friends from Washington. Jeff List from Anacortes, who is just the salt of the earth, one of the nicest people anybody will ever meet, and just a bad A dude. I'm talking hard rocks, crazy adventure stuff that I couldn't even wrap my head around. So I got to hang out with him. Good friend, Jeff Hart, Allie, who rode down back with me, picked her up at the airport from Washington. Well, I'm confirming my trip finally, and I will be heading back to Bellingham. So any Bellingham listeners out there, I'm headed your way the end of May, 1st of June. It's like that Friday the 31st for a couple days. I'll be in Bellingham looking for some miles, looking for some cool spots, and also looking for some solid beverages and food. So if you're in the Bellingham area and listening, maybe we'll meet up. Got some, I'll be running with Jeff Hart is usually my tour guide. Usually, I've been there once. So he was my tour guide, and he's stepped up to be my tour guide again. But I'm really excited to get back up to the Northwest for work, and also just to go back to the Bellingham trails. Such a fun spot. So, and as I mentioned last week, your good friend, the quietest co-host I've ever had, Gunner, my four-legged apostle of vert, got sprayed by a skunk. It's been a solid week, I guess, right? Yeah, I don't know, something like that. And he's doing okay. He's got a little bit of that lingering, stench, but he is now allowed back on my lap, so that's a good step forward for our relationship, because for a while there he was shunned. But yeah, that stuff just doesn't go away quickly by any means. So he's sitting right next to me. Gunner, want to say hi to the folks? Okay, he doesn't. So anyway, we'll move forward from that as we go. Let's talk about something coming up. There's kind of one race on the radar that we can cover real quick. Has some talking to. Again, folks, it is race season everywhere. I mean, there's stuff popping up left, right, up, down, all around, hokey pokey. But the one we'll talk about is the Canyons 100K. It's this year's final golden ticket race. So 2 men and 2 women are going to get automatic entries to this year's Western States 100, and it is going to be a barn burner. Barn burner. When's the last time you heard that one? On the women's side, here's just some of the names. First of all, one of our favorites of the show, Darcy. She's a stud. She's awesome. Amanda Basham, Megan Laws, who's coming off a good Ruckachuck 50K, and a few other ladies. This year's 2019 Chuckanut 50K winner, so it's kind of close behind, from Canada, Catherine Drew. But there's a pretty stout. But sentimentally, and what I'd like to see Amanda and Darcy, 1 and 2 in either order. Okay, Darcy first. Either order, I think Amanda really has a great shot overall there, but those two would be people I would like to see enter into the Western States 100. And on the men's side, it's a little deeper. Quite a few names, a lot of names you're going to recognize. Unfortunately, one of our good buddies of the show, Gabe Joyce, was in that, but doesn't look like he's going to make it due to some nagging stuff he's got going on. Bob Shebest is going to be back there. Dominic Layfield, who we've had on the show, super awesome runner. Ryan Kaiser, Dominic Grossman. Okay, there's a name. But a sentimental favorite for me is Jimmy Elam, because I've met him, and he's a Utah boy, and he's quick as a cat. But it should be pretty deep on the men's side. Joe Yuhan, is running as well. So there's a deep field. A lot of fast runners, a lot of quick dudes. Adam Kimball, 2019 Red Dragon 55K winner. A lot of good names. So good luck to everybody out there. We'll be back next week with the last 4 names to enter into the golden tickets for the Western States 100. I might have said that earlier. Who knows with me? It's late at night on a Wednesday night, and I've got a beer. And it's been a long day because, folks, let me throw this out there. I got an offer on my home, finally, and accepted, and now we're going through all the paperwork. So pain in the Yahoo, but super psyched to get that thing sold, closed in May. Next step, moving forward, we'll see what happens. But, yeah, I'm excited to get that thing not just off the market, but sold, get some money, get a car, upgrade from the Nitro, which I love if anybody wants to buy it. It's a fantastic vehicle. but I got to get rid of it because I hate it. So good sales pitch right there. But yeah, we'll look forward to that. Also, let's talk about a little bit of Strava week. Aaron Saft crushed it. He finished in distance in 1:10.7. Total run time, 20 hours, 15 minutes, and vert, 25,415 feet for the trifecta for the TrailManners Strava contest. This show we're going to buzz right through because we got a lot going on. And it's going to be a busy week. And I know we didn't have a show Tuesday. We were going to record one in Zion. Let me go back to that. But by the time everybody got back, there were some people that might have had too many beverages, and everybody else was kind of getting back from their run. They wanted to eat. They wanted to shower. So my apologies. I'm bummed because that would have been a really cool show. We had some good topics, some new guests. So I dropped the ball there overall, and that's my sincere apology. I'm trying to get one for next week, but as some of you know, next week is I'm going to say this, maybe the last annual Ogden Trail Running Festival. It's going to happen next week, so there's a lot of stuff going into that. I'm talking shirts, bibs, medals, final things, insurance. I mean, everything's coming together as it always does, so it's like my most stressful time of the year, really, to make this thing fly. And unfortunately, we just didn't have solid numbers this year, folks. So yeah, it's on the chopping block, but we're going to have a great time. We're going to go out with a bang. Got a lot going on. Ogden Trail Running Festival, May 3rd and 4th. And listen to this. So I mentioned we had Kat Bradley, right? She's coming to be with us on May 3rd, which is Friday night. We're going to have food from the Union Grill, some beer skis, better discounts at the Armor Sports Factory outlet. And then Kat Q&A and just get meet and greet. That's free. Yeah, it's free. So it's just the first 100 people, though. That's all we can fit, and that's all technically I can afford to feed. I mean, we're paying for this. So come see Kat Bradley. If you haven't registered yet, for the first 100 people, you get in free. For 101 on, you don't even get to come in. So if you can't afford free, that's a bummer because it's going to be an awesome night. And then what I'd like to see, though, if we can get a last-minute splurge on the Kids K race, that's May 4th. We got a couple different courses for them, kids from 5 to I think 12. Registration's a little low on that. Guess what? That's free. That's right. That's free too. We just like checking things around. Hey, come on, join us. We'll just let you do it. Kids are going to get killer shirts, some cool medals, some swag bags, so that'll be fun. But we'd love to see you there. I'll have a link in the show notes for anybody that wants to register late for that or come to the Ogden Trail Running Festival. And you didn't hear it from me, and this is probably recorded somewhere in the universe, so you probably did hear it from me, but it's probably the last year. But yeah, you can go to OgdenTrailRunFest.com. Check it all out there. Great picture of Kat Bradley Mix and Mingle Friday, May 3rd, and the races on May 4th. And we closed registration for the 10-mile and the 4-mile, which those are lower, so go figure. Why wouldn't we do this anymore? But I'm excited. I'm really excited because we have awesome sponsors. Armor Sports Factory Outlet, Solomon, Palisades Ultra Trail Series, registration is still open for those folks up there for some great races. Ogden Trails Network, which I'm privileged and proud to be a part of. Gear 30, Ogden's own mountain shop. United States Forest Service. You've probably all run on some section of their trail. They do a great job. And, of course, our Kids K sponsor, Mackenzie Exhibit. Mackenzie Exhibit is what it's all about, helping the kids. Make it free, make it fun, enjoying a good time down there. So that's going to be a lot of fun. If you can make it out, we'd love to see you. Could use some volunteers. If anybody's looking to maybe volunteer, just come hang out and have a few hours, let us know. You can message me at manners@trailmanners.com. We always have volunteer slots available. We'll try and make it worth your time. For sure, high fives, some thank yous, and see what else we can drum up for you. But yeah, come on out next weekend, May 3rd and 4th. Meet Kat Bradley, listen to her talk, maybe a little fist bump. And come race, come run, come have some fun, support our sponsors. It's a great event, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm really excited about it, so hope to see anybody that can make it there. Would be a lot of fun. I did get an email from somebody that asked me about if I was still looking or still doing shows about people battling depression and addictions, and the answer is yes, for both. So we do have, like I mentioned, a few guests that have stepped up and really, put themselves out there. I personally can't imagine how I would do, right, coming forward something like that and talking about it. And I thank the people that have reached out to me, and we will definitely get them on the show. There's a few more than I thought, and you know what? It's it's something I'm serious about, and would love to have more people on if that was the case. So anyway, we'll have some of that coming on the show here pretty quick. Also, we have a show coming up about race directing, which I wanted a little buffer between that, and some other fun topics and some other fun shows coming up. So, and all that really right now is not possible without all the Patreon supporters. We picked up 2 this past week, which is up 2 from the week before at 0, so that's good no matter what direction you're going. Logan and Aaron, thank you so much. Very much appreciated. We're up to 29. I know it seems like I want to get to 50 at least, so that's still a long ways away, the pace we're going, but I know we'll get there. So thank you very much. They make it possible. And this month wouldn't be possible as well without our good friends over at Hemp Daddies Therapeutics. They have graciously stepped up to help support the podcast this month, and absolutely, as I've said before, I definitely wouldn't back or be part of anything that I didn't believe in or support. But Hemp Daddies, it's a full-spectrum CBD oil. I should memorize all this by hand now as much as I talk about it to people all around me when anybody wants to listen, I guess. But it's great at reducing inflammation, pain relief, which I am absolutely using, and I think it's helped a ton, even with my Achilles. And I'll tell you what, I'm getting a much better sleep. There is no doubt about it. Check them out, hempdaddies.com. Help support the show, learn a little bit more, and don't forget to use code TRAIL, CBD, for 10% off and free shipping. And it also has been shown to reduce stress and anxiety. Now, I know nobody out there has stress or anxiety, because that's, who carries that around with them. But if you do, this is a good alternative that is not fooey caca for your body. So you can get it anywhere. But let's support Hemp Daddies. Great customer support, good people. Trail runner, right? Caleb is a solid dude. And it is third-party tested, so you kind of puts your mind at ease a little bit there. So I'll have also a link in the show notes to check out our awesome sponsor to help this keep moving forward. So thank you so much. All right, let's get into the big reason everybody listens to Thursday, right? I mean, it's not me, it's not topics, it's not races, it's not stuff going on in the world. It is absolutely about the Woody Footies. And to my excitement, I've got a new logo, right? Finally, when I was down in Zion, it came. I had 3 or 4 people inspect it, the lucky ones down there, and I got the seal of approval there. And so we are getting ready to produce some hats. I mixed it up. Like I said, I had some hats already. I'm going to go with a few different colored hats so we can kind of really get spicy, right? So I have a few different colors in the trucker hat with the new Woody Footy logo on it. We still are a little bit out from getting them. They got to get printed, but light at the end of the tunnel. And they're sexy. They are good looking, and they're one of a kinds. They're not for sale. You got to earn it. And so this week, in the past weeks, we haven't really said you get a Woody Footy hat because they're not available, and it's really difficult. But this week we had some stellar stuff. Pete Faulkner, one of my favorites. Okay, now you got not just a cool photo, but it's from Wells. Okay, and that's more where my ancestry / family came from, like predominantly. So Wells always has a special place in my heart, even though their national team is iffy. I do like you, Ramsey Bell. You're fading on me, bro. But yeah, it's he's approaching Glider Ridge, and here's my favorite part. This national park. Listen to this. Snowdonia. That just sounds like a Disney ride, dude. Snowdonia National Park. You put in 30 miles, 10,000 plus feet of vert over 2 days. Just a cool silhouette photo with the sun. It's money. So, Pete, great work. Christopher Pack had some run with his kid. Martin, I'm not going to be able to get your name, but you're cross-country skiing in Breckenridge. It's awesome. That's beautiful. Yeah, just a lot of good ones. Jeff Hart has a really solid one. Picture of him laying in his tent. That's money. At least you get his feet and a beautiful view behind that if you can get past the feet part. Appalachian Trail from Brett Reiner. That's a solid photo. Let's see. Where's a couple more of my favorite ones? Martin Schneekloth, North Georgia. running the double top 50K. That's a beautiful photo. Tim Bugnett, Ogden. That's a great shot. I love my hometown trails. Always partial to them, even though they're not going to win all the time. And Bellinghamian. What's a Bella? If you're from Bellingham, what do you call it, I wonder? Bellinghamian? Like if you're from Ogden, you're an Ogdenite. Anyway, Chandler from Bellingham was up in Squamish, BC with a money shot, and I want to get to Squamish. That's pretty sweet. Melissa Clark has a good one in Hidden Valley. I'm just kind of overlooking the city. Here's one. Mark Davis came across a dad working with the little dude doing some trail repairs. Some of my favorite people in the world doing trail repairs. That's what it's all about. What else we got? A good friend of the show, Grant Nicholas, was at Men in Buttes in Idaho, which is kind of some lava area. Stacy Barker in Roby Creek. But, God, so many good ones. Andrew Giles, Fish Creek Provincial Park in Calgary. Singletrack in the Trees. Jason Stamper, that's solid. Rachel Zeller. Chris Larson. I mean, they can go on and on. I mean, so Megan Martinez, haven't said her name in a while. Our flip phone lady out in Coldwater Canyon. Jason Child, Bonneville Shoreline. That's a gorgeous photo. I love trail signs. Maybe one week it has to be a cool trail sign for the Woody Footy and how you incorporate it and the coolness of the trail sign. I think that's what we'll do coming up. Someone remind me that when they see me next. Brad Sween did some climbing, it looks like. Preston Wood, looking at Benny. Ben Lohman. This week's winner, though, yes, okay, maybe it is a little homer of me. This week's winner goes to Randy Whitelaw. Now, if you look at the photo, you're just going to see some killer stuff in Zions near Hop Valley, okay? It's a gorgeous photo. But if you blow it up and look close enough, you'll see a trail kind of to the right of the center. There's some people running down there, and I don't know who they are, but I know they met Randy and Aric, I'm pretty sure. So, Randy Whitelaw, you are the winner this week because that's a money shot. That's good looking. And, little piece of my heart, baby. Eric Lewis had a good one. That's the group we're in. And Randy's in it as well, so that's a cool shot. But, yeah, this week's winner, and you'll see it, is from Zion National Park. And if you haven't been down there, you got to check it out. But don't go down when it's hot or on a holiday. That's tomfoolery, and you don't want to deal with that. That's just not a good time. Let's see. What else we got coming up here? I don't know. I guess we have some Ask TrailManners stuff. But yeah, it was the other cool part. So I mentioned Zion, I mentioned Woody Footy, and what they both have in common this week is Turtle Miller showed up to our campsite, invited. He didn't just show up and say what's up. Brought his bus with his daughter. They spent the night, hang around the campfire with us one night. Always a fun time catching up. I'll tell you what, I am one of the luckiest dudes there are. I have some of the most amazing people that I know. And I don't want to go too far and call them amazing friends because they may not look at me as their friend, so I'll leave it at just they're amazing people, and I feel super lucky to be associated with so many people. But my heart was full in Zion, just with all the people that were down there, and I just feel super pumped. And I know that's kind of more of a playing a violin over here, kind of romantic or whatever, but no, I seriously, just meeting new people and the people that I get to call friends and hang out with, I just feel super lucky. Just one of the luckiest dudes, and I never want to forget that no matter what happens. So thank you, Turtle, for showing up, and thank you for being the sponsor of the soon-to-be hats and the month or the year, all 12 of them, right, for the Woody Footies for this year. So thank you so much. All right, let's get to, I think we have 2 Ask TrailManners questions is all this week. The first one is from Angie in Idaho. Angie in Idaho. Her question is, hey, Mr. TrailManners, you mentioned you went to Zion's over Easter. Curious what direction you prefer? ? Do you like it better than the Grand Canyon rim to rim to rim ? Also, what other adventure runs do you have planned, and do you have space to join? Angie. So, Angie, thank you so much for the question, and it is a great question. And yes, I did go to Zion. I think I mentioned that over Easter. The direction I prefer, well, here's my deal. I like going from Lee's Pass, which is the west side, and I like going to the grotto. So that's my favorite. That's not the whole traverse. Okay, that's 38-ish miles maybe. That's probably my favorite, right? Now, you can say when you get to the grotto, you pop across the road, go up a little bit, you get to do these switchbacks to kind of keep going off to the east rim. There's a small section there I really like because you're in the rocks, you're kind of going like a maze type thing, it's like you're Indiana Jones. That section's cool, but I'm just not a fan of the east rim. I'm just not. And I know a lot of people are, and I know some people prefer to go east to west. I'm a west to east, west side. And I like to go to the grotto. So that's my preference on that. And I know people may disagree with me. And that is absolutely fine, folks. Let's go back and say it's okay to disagree on stuff. There is not one right way or one wrong way. And if you have an opinion, awesome. Have an opinion on anything. Anything. Just don't make other people force your opinions on them. It gets on my nerves. Next part of the question. Do you like it better than the rim to rim to rim? My answer is yes. I do. I've done Grand Canyon twice, rim to rim to rim. I do like it. It offers a little bit different than what you're used to seeing. There's some absolute majesty to it. But it's not I like Zion better. And I guess because I'm not really a desert sand guy, or I like green. I like trees. I like rivers. Yes, Grand Canyon has that. And I do like the Grand Canyon. It's not like I don't like it. There's some absolutely spectacular places on it. But I just like the Zion traverse because I think you come across a lot of different types of scenery, from the red rocks to some sage, smells like sage like crazy, to you got the creeks, you got grass, you got red rocks, you got just a lot of variance to it. And I just hate the drive to the Grand Canyon. Going to the Grand Canyon South Rim, you can time me with a calendar and not an hour, like a clock. It just seems like it takes forever. So yeah, that's my personal preference on those ones. And I know people disagree again. I know people love rim to rim to rim, the Grand Canyon, and it is gorgeous. You cannot go wrong either way, trust me. But I think you need to do both and judge for yourself for sure. Also, it says, what adventure runs do you have planned, and do you have space to join? Well, Angie, I don't really have anything planned. There's things I'd like to do. I'd like to go do Kings Peak in the Uintas this summer. I would like to get back and do the Teton Cirque, back up in there this year. On top of that, Rocky Mountain. I'd like to do some of also the Great Basin National Park. Venture runs, I'm going to say Bellingham for me is going to be that. Vermont, I'm going to want to get back to, which is looking good still. But nothing like planned on the books. I have some races coming up, but not an adventure run, so to say. But if I come up with something, I'll throw it out there. I usually let like people, right? So people can come hang out, meet, have some fun run. Yeah, it's kind of whatever on that. So thanks, Angie, for that question. Next question. I love it when they piggyback my questions of the week. Last week I had one, do you prefer to run solo or in a group? And so this one comes from Ben from Utah. Ben says, Aric, what do you prefer? Do you like group runs? Do you like solo runs? What does that say? Group runs, solo runs. What gives? That's a good question. And I know a lot of people would say I like solo or group run. They're pretty one way or another. I like both. I really do. I think there's a time and place for both for everybody. For me especially, there's days where I just want to be alone. I want to be by myself. I'm talking alone. I won't take Gunner some days. I just want to kind of just do my thing. Obviously, I love taking Gunner out. But there are days when I just like to get out, do my own thing, not have to worry about time, not worry about talking, just kind of sort through my own problems, my own head. But there's absolute times I need, not just want, but I need group runs. I need to run with people, but I think what happens is more and more my time and my fitness levels, and I shy more away from group runs just because, I don't know, I'm slow, I'm old, I'm injured, whatever. But I think there's a time and place. Like this weekend, Zion was absolutely perfect with the people I ran with. I'm always looking for new people to run with, but a lot of times it is a scheduling thing. because now that Joel doesn't run as much and I don't run with Joel, the 5 a.m. runs are few and far between, which I'm kind of happy with. But, you know, if you got to get them done, you got to get them done. I'm kind of enjoying running when I can see without a headlamp and sleeping in a little bit. And Gunner's not a huge fan of the 5 a.m. He likes to go a little bit later. So, Ben, I like both. And I think there's a time and place for everything for me. I know some people prefer one or the other, sometimes more predominantly, but I like both. There's a time and place, and I think everybody needs to do both. I think everybody needs to, you know, get out on their own and just be one. You know, maybe not even take a watch and like any electronics, just to kind of get out and run for the purpose of being out there running, not tracking time or miles or vert or anything else. And I think there's time where you just get a bunch of your closest friends, get a bunch of, you know, let's have some silliness out there. You can have a good run for sure, but enjoy it, talk, chat, do whatever. So, Ben, I appreciate the question for those two that asked this week. So, anyway, we're going to wrap it up. We're going to wrap up Singletrack Session 135. Haven't asked for a while, but if you wouldn't mind, if you listen on iTunes, head over to iTunes, give us a review. I like the when you leave the star rating, but I also like the comments. Those are always my favorite, and we haven't had those for a little while. So go ahead and do that. I'd love people to share this podcast, share the Facebook page so we can get more people involved with Woody Footies, Tooey Wooies, everything we got going on with the TrailManners podcast. We are trying to grow a little bit, and I'll get my complete act together, and we'll have all kinds of fun stuff going on. Because I do have Stacy Barker working on another logo for me that's kind of a super secret logo, underground. He knows about it. I know about it. Another guy knew about it, and no one's heard from him since. So, yeah, we got a lot of stuff in the hopper, in the mixer. And a few people have even emailed me about doing a couple articles for the website, a couple little writings they want to write about, some different topics for the website, and I welcome that as well. If you're interested in that, just message me, manners@trailmanners.com. Even if you want to be on the show, if you have some really good topics, if you have some different things, I'm all about the community, helping out, getting things going that way. And I'm always looking to run with new people or new ideas on where to run. Like I said, Bellingham, man, buckle up. Yeah, I'm coming for you, and I'm excited, so I'm really looking forward to that. Anyway, I hope everybody had a great week. Hope everybody has a great week ahead. May is just around the corner. Hope you're getting your mileage in, and I really do hope everybody's staying healthy, having fun, and just loving everybody, right? Let's make this a beautiful world. This is Aric Manning with the TrailManners podcast, Singletrack Session 135, and I am out.